It's been a busy Monday for the New Orleans Saints, and a lot of it's actually been departures. And there's another one here, Marcus Davenport, the former first-round pick, Mr. Two Firsts himself. He's heading to the Minnesota Vikings. Let's talk about it.
You're listening to the Straight Up Saints podcast.
So the news just broke from NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. It seems like Marcus Davenport is heading to the Minnesota Vikings, one-year deal up to $13 million in total value. Look, I'm going to be blunt about this. I think Marcus Davenport's a player who's always had the potential, has always had the physical intangibles you need to be a very successful defensive end in the NFL. And in 2021, he looked just like that. He looked the part. He looked like a player ready to really just break out and start to reach his full potential. And then what happened? 2022 happened, half a sack, didn't really produce. And I think for the Saints, this is one of those, I don't want to say addition by subtractions, but it's a loss where you say, you know what? It just wasn't working out. And that happens sometimes in work, in any type of profession. Sometimes it just doesn't work out in a spot. And hopefully for Marcus Davenport's case, it works out well for him elsewhere. It just wasn't happening in New Orleans. Peyton Turner can take over those minutes that he has. Similar body type. I think actually he's a little bit more polished coming out of college than Davenport was. So there's a lot to like in that regard. We'll see what happens and how the Saints replace him. But no more Marcus Davenport, and he's not the only one who actually is leaving. The Saints are also losing Caden Ellis. He's going to the Atlanta Falcons. He's going to join forces with David Onyemata, who left earlier today. So, for a Saints fan, this is not your best Monday when it comes to the news, because a lot of this news has been guys you're losing, right? Onyemata, Caden Ellis, Shai Tuttle, Marcus Davenport. That said, I do think the Saints, outside of Caden Ellis, have lost guys that didn't make a huge impact this year, and I think that they can replace. I do think they can replace Marcus Davenport. I do think they can replace Shai Tuttle. I do think they can replace Onyemata. It's not going to be easy, but I do think they can replace them. Losing Caden Ellis, it certainly stings. It definitely hurts that a lot of these guys are sticking in the NFC South, and for Davenport, going to a team in the Vikings who Saints fans aren't overly fond of, but it's a business. I wish those guys absolutely well. But it's going to be fascinating to see how the Saints revamp and overhaul this defensive line, because Lord knows they need to do it. And outside of Tano Passanio, Carl Granderson, Cam Jordan, and Peyton Turner, you don't have an awful lot right now to work with. So you need to get better in that. And I really am intrigued to see how they attack that, because if the Saints are going to get to where they want to go, they got to get better on the defensive line. And it all starts with this free agency, kind of the second and third wave, and then hopefully the NFL draft. But that's going to do it here for this mini brief Straight Up Saints video. Make sure you're tuned in for more content from Boot Krewe Media. We'll have content as free agency goes wild, and it has been a wild Monday, and we'll keep you guys updated every time. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more content from the Straight Up Saints podcast, the destination for the Who Dat Nation.